Okay, welcome back. This is Mr. Hassan's Maths channel. I'm now answering question number 5 from the October-November 2021 Statistics S1 paper. This is paper 5, variant 3 from the 9709 syllabus. And here, this question is about permutations and combinations. The question states that a security code consisting of 2 letters followed by a 4-digit number. The letters are chosen from A, B, C, D, and E, and the digits are chosen from the numbers 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No letter or digit may appear more than once. An example of a code is BE3216. So first of all, it says how many different codes can be formed. So you have 2 letters, and then you have 4 numbers. Right, so here what we can do is we can choose from the letters 2 out of 5. So there's a couple of ways you can think about this. You can say, okay, for the first space, we have 5 different letters we can choose from. And once you've chosen one of them, we can't choose it again. So now there's 4 letters to choose from. So you have 5 times 4. And then from the numbers, okay, we have 7 numbers to choose from. So for the first number, the first space, we have 7 numbers to choose from. After we've chosen that number, there's now 6 numbers to choose from. And then we've chosen, 2 of them. So now there's only 5 numbers to choose from. And then for the fourth choice, there's now 4 numbers to choose from. This is the equivalent of choosing and arranging, okay, because we're talking about arrangements here. Choosing and arranging, okay. Here we've got 5 permutation 2. We've got to choose 2 letters from 5. That will give you the same thing as this. And followed by, here we got 7 letters to choose from, so we got to arrange 7 letters. From 7 letters, we got to arrange 4 of them. These 2 will give you exactly the same thing, as we'll see. And that's 2 different ways of setting out your steps for this. So we have 5 times 4 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4. And that gives us 16,800. 16,800. And just to show you that we get the same thing whether we do this or this way, we're going to do 5 permutations. We use this button here, the one that says P. 5P2 times 7P4. And you see we get exactly the same answer. So it's doing the same thing exactly. It's choosing 2 letters and then arranging them. Okay, so those are the different codes that can be formed. So that's part A finished. So whichever way you want to do it, you can do it either way. Now, for part B, it says find the number of different codes that include the letter A or the digit 5 or both. So again, we have 2 letters and 4 numbers to choose from. Right, so what we could do is we could go through all of the different combinations or the different cases. We could find the ones that include the letter A. And we could choose the ones that include the digit 5. And then we could choose the find the combinations that have the letter A and 5 both in them. Or we can do something which is going to be a lot quicker, which is that we can find the total number of ways, which we just did, of arranging them without any restrictions, and take away from that the ones that don't fit the description. So what's the opposite of? What is the opposite of this? Letter A or the digit 5 or both? Okay, the opposite is no 5 and no A. Okay, so if you don't have any 5 and any A, okay, that will be, the opposite of this. So all the other possibilities will include either an A or a 5 or both. But if you have no 5 and no A, okay, then that's the only thing that doesn't fit our description. So our description is either a 5 or an A or both. Okay, and what we can do is if we do the total minus the opposite of our description, we're going to get our description. Okay, so the total minus the opposite is what we're looking for here. So the total way of dealing with this, as we said before, the total number of arrangements is 16,800. So we can do 16,800 minus, now we've got to think of the ways of having no 5 and no A. So no 5 and no A, so let's get rid of the A and let's get rid of the 5. So we're going to have here 2 letters and then we're going to have 4 letters. So for the first one, we've got to basically choose from 4 letters, because A we can't choose. We've got to choose from 4 letters and we got 2 to choose. So it's going to be 4 and we're going to arrange them. So 4, P2. Okay. And then for the second part of the code, which is to do with the numbers, we can't have any 5. So we got 6 letters, 6 numbers that we have to arrange from. And we have how many spaces? 4. Okay. And that should give us our answer. Okay. So we take the previous answer and you take away from it 4P2 times 6P4. And that gives us 12,480. 12,480. Okay, so that's the different codes that can be, that include the letter A or the digit 5 or both. Okay, because this is like the opposite, all right, which excludes A and it excludes a 5. So this gives you the probability of all of the other things that we need to include, which are either an A or a 5 or both. Okay, so that's a much easier way of doing it than listing all the different outcomes. Okay, so there's part B done. Okay, now for part C. It says a security code is formed at random. Find the probability that the code is DE followed by a number between 4,500 and 5,000. So you have the first 2, there's no choice. The letter is just DE, that's fixed. Okay, so there's no choice with that one. All right. And then followed by a number between 4,500 and 5,000. Okay, so the first number has to be a 4. And the second number, well, it can be a 5. Or you could have, so this is case 1. The second case is you have a 4 and then a 6, and then you have 2 other numbers. And the third case is that you have a 4 and then a 7, and then 2 other numbers. Okay, so these are 3 different cases that we can consider here. So you have 4, 5, and then 2 spaces for the other numbers. 4, 6 fixed, and 2 other cases, and 4, 7 fixed. There's no other number greater than 7, and all the other numbers will be less than 4,500. If I put 4, 4 here, it will be less. So these are the 3 cases that we need to consider. And here DE is fixed in each case. It always has to be D followed by E. There's not even ways of switching them because it's just D and E. And that will give us, and we have to remember here we're dealing with here a probability. Okay, so we've got to think, so we're going to first find the number of successful outcomes which will be given by these. So basically what we have here, in each of these cases, we have, the 4 gone and one of the other numbers gone. So here, the 4 and 5 is gone, leaving us with how many numbers to choose from? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 numbers to choose from. So you're going to have 5, P. We've got 2 numbers to choose from those 5. And if it's the case that we do 4 and 6, we do 4 and 6, so we get rid of the 4 and the 6. We got the same case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers to choose from. Okay, and this time because they are separate cases. This is one case, and this is a second case, and this is a third case. They're like 3 different outcomes. We're going to add them together. So it's going to be, the second one will also be 5p2, and the third one will also be 5p2, if you think about it, because 2 of the numbers are fixed, and we've chosen, and there's only 2 numbers to choose from out of 5. So it's like basically 3 times 5p2. So the probability, okay, of the probability of the event that they asked us to deal with is equal to that's the total number of successful outcomes over the total number of ways in total, which was 16,800. That's like the total number of ways of arranging all of these. So this will give you the probability, 16,800. So you got here, so you have here 3. So put fraction 3 times 5p2 over 16,800. And that gives us 1 over 280, which is the answer to the question. So that's how we deal with these questions with permutations and combinations. It's one of the topics that a lot of students do have some issues with. It's probably one of the trickier topics in the PS1 syllabus. But if you do a lot of practice and expose yourself to lots of different questions, hopefully you'll be fine in the exam. Okay, so that's the answer to this question. Other questions from this paper, if I get to answer any of them, will be in the playlist that will appear at the top right of the screen at the end of the video. Other questions from the topic of permutations and combinations you'll find in the playlist down here. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking on this link, and the video here will show you how to use my channel and find the index items that will help you to navigate through my channel efficiently. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.